Too many, like, too many peanut butter sandwiches.
Too many puts-ins, man.
Yeah. At some point, peanut butter with cheese sandwiches. Just that weird experimentation.
What is that?
That was a thing.
What is that?
Oh, I've talked about that before for sure. Yeah.
That is causing a fucking vomit reflex for me.
Sounded horrible when my cousin suggested it. Took a bite. Legit went, that shouldn't work, but it does.
I don't want to hear this.
It's like the first time. Okay, so this has happened to me so many times.
Well, you're talking about somebody who fucking separates his food on the plate.
I know, and that's fine. And I'm somebody who definitely gets grossed out by weird shit. Like, when I first heard about fondue, I'm like, that is disgusting. Get away from me.
Really?
Right?
That seems
like
kind of normal.
I thought that was super gross. I'm like, what you're doing? You're dipping. Why would this type of fruit combined with chocolate taste good? You're fucking crazy. That sounds nuts, right?
Yeah.
And then I tried it. I'm like, no, you're wrong. That was good. And there's weird things like that. Like, you hear about put the fries in the Wendy's Frosty or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Right? You hear that and I'm like, that sounds horrible. You're a monster. Get away from me. And then it's like you put the fry in the thing and you taste it and you're like, oh shit, that actually works. Then you hear about bacon plus ice cream, and I'm like, fuck you, you're crazy. But then it works.
Hey, I've got one for you.
Salty and sweet. It does a thing.
Would you ever test this out? Would you ever dip your Lay's natural potato chips into mustard as if it were a dip?
Yeah, she's out of her mind. I'm not. What I'm saying is you take some chips and you can crush them up and you sprinkle it on your sandwich, and that's a good shit. But ultimately, all of this, like, trust me, I understand the concept of grossness of these two things. They should not work together, right? And then someone goes, hey, don't knock it till you tried it. And I'm like, fuck you, right?
Yeah, no, sometimes the answer to that is fuck off.
Yeah. But as I live and breathe today, as I sit here before you, I swear to God that my cousin handed me a peanut butter sandwich
and like sliced like crab
that had
cheese
just
or
like
whatever?
sliced, that had some sliced matzah inside there, and it was actually pretty good.
I don't like this.
And it was not a strong cheese. It was like the kind of cheese that, like, like I said, like strong cheeses would be like, that'd be no.
Oh yeah, don't get some
But
brie or blue.
it was
in there.
more.
That's
It was more
terrible.
just kind of like this, the light texture combined with crunchy peanut butter, and then also I don't know if you've ever, like, when you put peanut butter on a sandwich and it's like the toast is just warm,
Yeah.
so it kind of melts the peanut butter a bit.
Yes, absolutely.
And you get the gooiness.
Yeah.
It's that with the melted cheese.
All right, I'm gonna vomit.
Okay, that's fine.
disgusting.
That's fine. But
You know what the other thing is though? I'm one of those people that like.
I promise you, I know how crazy it sounds.
I'm one of those
and it
people that
worked.
like when I eat a food and be like, "Oh, this tastes really good," but the texture makes me want to die. Like I can't enjoy fucking squid. Anything with squid in it,
Yeah.
it's the texture. It's just fucking. No.
I'm still honestly like, when the whole default hot dog sandwich mayo relish thing, I don't dig that at all.
No, I don't like that.
I don't like those three being the default condiments because I'm like, they don't.
Well, that's default. That's different anywhere.
They don't complement each
Well,
other.
whatever your default is on any particular location.
The
is gonna-
condiments don't complement. They don't. I think a certain type of like one of those long European style hot dogs with like
like a fucking Frankfurter. kind
right,
of
like
thing?
a one of those with like a Dijon is great.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
I don't even like mustard, but I get that.
Yeah, right, with the little things in it, the little seeds in it, or whatever
Yeah.
the fuck. You put that by itself.
Totally,
On it. You
why
don't
not?
fucking put ketchup and relish. It's good enough with just that. It's
I think
super
relish
good.
doesn't work with any other thing that you would put on a burger.
It really.
Sorry, the fucking hot dog.
That trifecta is horseshit. I feel like I've been
'Cause
lied to
relish
for
is
years.
cold.
Yeah, and you know what the ultimate proof is? They made something called burger sauce, right? And burger sauce is a combination of all three that you're meant to just put, quick squeeze, and go, so that you don't have to worry about putting all three together.
Yeah, no, that's too much work.
And it's horrible.
That's
It tastes so disgusting, right?
I don't like that.
So fuck that mix, and like the things that you wouldn't expect to mix. Or I'm like, you know what? Fuck all that relish shit. Fuck the mustard on it. Put some ketchup on the dog, right? And then I'm like, you know what? Throw me one of those mayos. And you put ketchup and you put the line of mayo, and you're like, you know what? There you go. Now it works, right? So those two together actually work because ketchup plus mayo with the right proportions is Big Mac sauce.
I'm torn on mayo because I'm not sure if it's me or my brain that hates it. Because if you put mayo on something, and if you said, hey, here's a thing, you put a mayo on it, and I took a bite out of it, I might as well just spit it on the floor, right? But if it's one of those things that I ate it, and you're like, by the way, there was some mayo mixed in there,
Yeah.
I'll shrug.
Yeah.
But like I feel like mayo needs to be diluted heavily.
Mayo, you can't think about what mayo is.
It's just eggs, man.
Yeah, it's just a gross egg sauce, and it's super nasty.
Yeah, but like,
but it tastes great, and mayo chicken as an Asian dish that you order up tastes good. But it's like, yeah, a lot of it is cultural. Here in Quebec, in particular, mayo on fries is the thing.
yeah, I don't.
That's
like
what we do. But
I don't like it.
yeah,
Just give me a
so-
little thing of ketchup. That's
but
what goes
anyone
on
that's
my
not
fries.
you that lives here will be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Handing
Well,
me
unless
these
you're out
fries without the
in
mayo.
France or Europe or whatever.
You go to DeCarry Hot Dog. What are you gonna do? Not get mayo on your fries? Get the fuck out of here! You're not getting fries.
I don't want mayo on my fries, man.
Well, are you just gonna offend everybody? Yeah.
Yes, yes, I am.
Yeah.
I lived in this city just as long as the rest of you fucking assholes. I want ketchup on these goddamn
I
fries.
just don't understand where the relish comes from. I don't know.
I actually also don't get it.
There's nothing I can think of where I'm like, you know what this needs? Some fucking cut up salty pickles and
I recently
and
had
dill
a fucking
and vinegar.
situation where I ordered a sandwich on the internet from the Uber Eats, and I'm like, oh, I'm excited to have this sandwich. So it's a sandwich that has, like, okay, you can add 35 different vegetables to this fucking thing, right?
Yeah.
You can add cucumbers, you add fucking 5 different kinds of onions, whatever, right? On this list, you know, the little drop down list. None of those options are pickles. Zero were pickles. So I go, okay, just hit me with all dressed. Sure enough, the fucking thing comes rife with pickles. And pickles offend me because all I can taste is vinegar.
Yeah.
And I can't eat vinegar because if vinegar goes on the food that I'm eating, every taste in the food leaves other than vinegar, which isn't a taste that I enjoy.
Yeah.
So I take one bite in, I'm like, all I taste is fucking pickle. It's literally, there are 30 fucking things in this sandwich, most of which are vegetables, and I'm tasting, it's like eating a big fucking pickle.
Pickles are the fucking weirdest because I love pickles and I will grab a jar and I'll crunch into some of those fuckers like nonstop.
Do you drink the brine?
No.
Yeah, you'd be crazy to just drink the brine out of a jar of pickles, huh?
Put the baby preservation water in the fridge. Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
No, thank you. But the fucking thing with pickles is as much as tasty as they are, especially you get a good crunchy one and you do the whole thing, the moment you put it on something as a topping, it ruins it. You can't have pickles
Because
on anything.
it's all pickle then.
You have to. Yeah, no,
It's a very strong flavor.
completely agree. Like pickles are great on their own. You cannot combine it. You cannot combine it.
Don't combine pickles with food.
When you do the Polish deli thing and they give you like the Jewish deli thing where they give you the smoked meat and then they cut the slice of pickle in there, like I want this pickle,
get it.
but I don't want it at the same time as my meat, you know? Yeah, you
Whenever
can't.
I go to a place like that, everybody's happy because I'm like, "Hey, who wants my pickle?" And everyone's like, "Hey."
Yeah, I can't. I don't dig it. I don't dig it. It's great on its own, but you can't put it anywhere. You need at least 10 minutes before and after of pickle time. Pickle needs to have its own time for flavor because it's ruining everything else you eat. It's like toothpaste.
Oh man,
It's like toothpaste. It's gonna fuck with the flavor of whatever you're tasting.
toothpaste.
Did you know they have like flavor fuckers, by the way?
I'm sorry, what?
They have these little things you can eat where like it'll make it so that you can't taste anything sugary for like the next hour or two or
What the actual
whatever.
shit? What the fuck?
Yeah, they have these things that fuck with your taste buds.
That seems.
And I think
I don't trust that.
I think the idea behind it is to like cut down cravings so that you can't like if you have a craving for something and then you can't actually sate it, then
Yeah.
you just won't eat it.
What about the people who I'll just keep eating it until this thing wears off?
I don't know, but I know that they have these little things that are like Listerine strips,
That seems like a terrible idea.
and you can just fuck with the flavors
That
of things.
seems like a terrible idea.
There's another one that like amplifies you know other certain tastes and whatever, and like it's a whole thing I heard about that they're working on now. It's an industry that they're fucking trying to invest in to make things fuck with flavor.
Let's have timed debuffs you can give yourself.
I mean, if you could fuck with flavors so that like because you know how it's like your tongue is like your eyes, right? When you stare at a color for a certain amount of time and then stare somewhere else, the bleed off.
Yeah, it's
will
called neural inhibition.
So the after effect will be there, right?
It's like if I said water 40 times in a row, the word would go away and it would be replaced with a nonsense noise.
Sure. So that happens with your tongue if you jack the bitters up and you know what I mean and whatnot.
Excite them.
So if you can do something in the future that makes healthy things taste like not healthy
Like
things,
candy.
yeah, then that would be amazing. So I mean, it's absolutely an industry worth fucking checking out and going into. But right now, I think they just fuck with your flavors. I think they're just at flavor fucker.
Great.
Yeah. Well,
No thanks.
you ever have ketchup outside of North America?
No.
You never been outside of North America, right?
Are you seriously? Seriously? Think about that for a second.
That's true. Ketchup?
I didn't have any ketchup in Japan.
No. Okay. Ketchup in certain other places, like in particular in the islands, is not what you think it is. It is a weird tomato paste that has like it's not the Heinz salty
Well, I mean,
thing
you ever get
you expect to get.
Do you have? You don't have. Okay, this all.
And it's not catsup.
Now it's my turn to ask a stupid question. You don't have a side branch of a bunch of French Quebecois relatives, right?
I don't think I do.
Okay, cause ketchup, le vrai ketchup. Okay, it's like closer to a fucking salsa
Yeah.
than Heinz tomato
the
ketchup.
tomato paste. Yes.
That's pretty much everywhere, but Heinz, quote unquote, store ketchup
Heinz
or whatever.
country. But that is which is everywhere as far as I know in Canada and America, right? You
Yeah.
go to a place, you order ketchup, you ask for ketchup, you get the red thing, or you get the Heinz,
Yeah.
or you get the little
But
packet.
real ketchup can be anything. You can make fucking blueberry ketchup. You can make fucking green ketchup.
But
Shit.
what you actually get in a lot of other places is this other thing. And like for example, back in Grenada, the main brand was Grace tomato ketchup, and Grace tasted like shit. It was not. There was no salt to it at all. It really just tasted like crushed tomatoes and like weird ground spice. And
Alright.
and it was just like not. It didn't make your thing taste better. It just made it taste like shit. And like I don't know. I guess if you got used to it, if that's what you thought it was the whole time in your life, then it would be fine. But like after getting accustomed to normal Heinz ketchup, like going elsewhere and having that was like fucking terrible. Whereas other things when you get homemade, like if you get like homemade guacamole, it's always better.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of this shit, like, oh, we're making like homemade tzatziki is amazing.
Yep.
But homemade ketchup is fucking garbage. Hate
Some things have been improved. You know what it reminds me of? Reminds me of, hey Pat, you like Chinese food or you like Thai food or whatever, right? Yeah, sure. I like Asian food. Man, there's this really, really authentic place. Let's go. And I'm eating it. I'm like, yep, this sure is authentic. I like my garbage fake version better, probably.
Yeah.
Because that garbage fake version has probably been literally altered to suit my tastes.
So I remember watching something. I don't know what it was. I think I was watching. Oh yeah, okay. So there's a documentary about General Tao chicken, and
Oh yeah, that's a fascinating documentary.
and in it, right, they go to a restaurant in China that's American style Chinese food, where all the locals come to gawk and go,
fuck is
the
this?"
fuck is this? Yeah, yeah. Where it's like, this is what they call Chinese, like this weird other thing that has nothing to do with actual authentic Chinese cuisine. But like they have it as a place where like if you're an American businessman, you can go there and feel at home
and have your American ass
American
General
Chinese
Tao.
food. Yeah. And that exists as a functioning business, you know, because it's that fucking weird at this point. I don't know, man. All I'm saying is, I feel like our I know that our palettes are conditioned, our tastes are like, fucking like limited to a degree in some ways. And like I remember hearing about how the worst thing you can do for kids is let them eat off the kids menu, because by feeding them the kids menu, what ends up happening is you just get used to chicken finger. Palate. Excuse me, palate.
Well, that's why I like.
Yes.
Because like you said, palettes like our color swatches.
I'm sorry, I'm saying the word that I learned in art school here in Quebec. What do you want me to tell you? It's in my brain. I did it for 3 years. And for 3 years of education here, plus art, plus high school, palette was the word that was used.
Well, you're talking to a man.
I don't know what to tell you.
You're talking to a man who has a speech impediment and word salads himself to death nightly.
Yeah, this is not
I understand.
This is not word salad. This is a classroom of teachers and students and people all using the same word.
You weren't.
And then leaving that scenario and being introduced to a world where everyone goes, ha ha! And I'm like,
wait, Wooly, you weren't eating that patch of color swatches.
The palate of your mouth is
soft palate in the back where the Goa'uld tunnel through to get to your brain.
It is weirdly limited because you give kids menus and all they end up doing is being like, I want chicken fingers, ketchup, I want fries, and maybe I'll eat a fish stick if I'm feeling daring. And then that bland taste is all they really will ever accept. And then the moment you have to switch it off to real food plates, they're like, get this away from me, and then they become picky eaters.
Yeah.
So you have to give them smaller portions of what you eat normally and make sure that they know what adult food tastes like from an early age. Otherwise, that restricted palate is what they're going to stick with and be fussy about the entire time.
I was born into a household defined by fucked up weird food habits in which all 3 children had bizarre eating things. I can't smell a goddamn thing. This highly limits the amount of tastes that I can appreciate, which lead to me being a very picky eater. However, I was not nearly the pickiest eater in the house. That went to my sister, because for her, it had nothing to do with taste. It had to do with the fucking food on the plate. Did the mash touch the fucking steak? Can't eat it. Like crazed. Meanwhile, I got my fucking brother over here with a fucking passion flaky. You know those things?
Yeah.
He was that fucking piece of shit that would pop the fucking thing in 2, lick all of the goddamn shit out, then crunch it back together, and then chew on it like it's a biscuit, like a fucking freak.
That's super weird. Yeah. Steph's a weird one because I like the whole thing was she had a whole like fuck this, I don't want to eat this, super limited, picky, fussy thing at first, and a lot of that was based on not taste or flavor but texture.
Texture's bad, dude.
But that texture was the only thing that mattered.
Yeah.
In terms of preference.
It's a big deal.
I never had that. I'm like, wait, so the taste of this thing being amazing doesn't matter to you.
I have eaten things that flavor-wise, when they hit the tongue and the palate and all that shit, this is good, but the texture, like, ruined it for me. And for the texture weirdos, everyone's got the different ones. For me, like, spongy or rubbery feeling doesn't, like, I like the taste of, oh god, okonomiyaki?
Okonomiyaki,
yeah. I like the taste.
Yeah.
It's pleasant.
Yes.
I will spit it out onto my fucking plate because it feels like
slime.
It's the slime,
slime.
And the fucking rubber.
It's delicious slime.
Fuck! It makes me anxious to think about now.
Wow, okay. I don't have that. Like, texture for me is so, like, it's there. And they're clearly there because I prefer, I can get chicken, or I can get chicken with a little bit of crisp on the edge of
Yeah,
that.
totally, whatever.
You want, texture matters, right? You want a little bit of crunch sometimes. You want a little bit of this and that. But
you're doing that weird sous vide shit. You want to sear your steak on one side before you eat it.
Crispy bacon versus not crispy bacon. You don't want the soft, flabby bacon.
I do want the soft bacon.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I want it crispy. Cripsy, as my grandma would
I
say.
think most bacon is horribly overcooked.
I want it crunched. I want chips. I love I love the fucking crunch, man.
That see, I like the crunch is fun, but the charcoal's too much.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
I'm down. I'm
yeah.
super down with the black. Yeah. But all that to say, it's never been such a priority that I would throw out the good tasting thing just because of that texture. You know, that's always a weird one to me. Although a rubbery ass steak is really annoying. You have to when it's like too fucking, just you can barely get into it. You can barely bite it open. But yeah, man.
Nah, no thanks on that.
It's I think texture comes in when it's like what is it, like organ meat? Like
yeah.
Organ meat is the best place where texture fucks you up. If you have liver, if you have the biggest problem with liver or tongue or any of that, not
tongue's the worst
meat.
Because the texture is that of your tongue.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it feels like you are eating your fucking tongue.
But like, and they have like serve up chicken hearts sometime as well. And
I have had chicken hearts. They're
but it's
okay.
just there's a you know that part of the turkey sometimes you bite in and you're like, oh, I hate
I know.
oh,
Yeah, I know.
No,
Just a little chewier. Just a little bit.
And it feels like you're biting into mashed potato, but it kicks in with this organy flavor.
Yeah.
Fuck
Some
that.
people love that.
Hate that. Fucking plate ruined.
You don't want to eat the organs?
Gotta grab the napkin and spit it out.
Yeah.
It's not pleasant. All right. Fuck, now I'm kind of hungry.
I know.
Damn.
I ate lunch right before I came over here.
I
so I
didn't.
saved myself from that
I woke up.
disaster.
I had a Red Bull,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna sit here and starve.
Oh, man. You know what? You don't need to eat. You just got energy.
That's true.
It's...